Like, tell me, another thing that you talk about is you speak of being unapologetic.
Yes.
Okay, so my question is, why is that the way to go?
Because it's the only way that makes me feel I can't abide by something that doesn't feel right to me. Okay, so if you're saying a lot of crap, I have to say I'm sorry. It's all crap.
Okay.
You're just fooling yourself. I have a very low tolerance for nonsense. I have low tolerance for denial and filling yourself with excuses. So that's why I detect them very easily.
Okay.
Because I'm allergic. I can't stand.
Okay.
Because I've seen it so often and I felt it so often. It's like, no, that's not the way. You have to clear all the rubbish to see the actual little plant that's dying for some light.
Yes, definitely.
That's
definitely.
what it is.
It is again. It's that makes a nice segue into what I'm going to ask you next. You have coached a lot of people.
Yeah.
You've met a lot of people. You've discussed about their life issues, life problems, and all that. And you've helped them as well. Let's not forget, you've helped a lot of people. I saw all the reviews and fantastic reviews and stuff. You do, so congrats on that.
Thank you.
What do you think is the current big problem with the human condition?
If you had asked me 2 years ago, I probably would have given you a different answer.
Okay, what was that answer? I'm just curious.
Back in the day, it probably would have been lack of motivation, lack of support, you wanting to do something but not having the enough support or self-belief into pursuing this. But right now, actually, I think the issue is something else. Right now, the issue is you have an ocean of opportunities, and it sounds like it's an ideal situation, but it's not. Because having so many opportunities in front of you overwhelms you.
Yes.
We are people who are used to being in a structure. We are used to be in a place that feels safe. And the unknown or too much unknownness is scary. And you'll be surprised how much that puts people off.
Yes, it does.
Yes.
Yeah, it does. It does. That's fair. But in your experience of providing coaching, I still want to stay on the topic. Share some of the success stories that you've had in terms of turning a life around.
Oh, I can think of two people in particular.
Okay. Tell me.
One was, her name is Rie. She's Japanese, and she joined several of my workshops. And I remember this very nice, very quiet girl, always very attentive, taking notes, but never saying too much. One day, I did a workshop on Ikigai. I don't know if you're familiar with the word Ikigai. Is the topic that I love the most lately. Ikigai is an exercise that comes from Okinawa. It's very simple exercise. It's about you with a piece of paper and a pen. I put some prompts and you just answer those questions with all the creativity and all the easiness that you can. So for example, the Ikigai helps you find what you love, what you're good at, what you can get paid for. And I'm missing 2 circles right now. Ooh. Anyway, the passions and what the world needs. And there's something else that I added just because the original Ikigai is not too modern. So for example, I added a new circle that you answer all these questions. So you already have your mind going crazy and being creative and all. But sometimes you love something very much, but you're not ready for it because there is something missing. So I added a new circle in the Ikigai. Okay, so this is your dream. This is what you want to do. Can you learn or can you equip yourself in a way that it makes you an even better person at that? Taking courses, learning something, whatever, in order to achieve that. And I remember this girl, first of all, she starts crying. And I see on the camera, but I never said anything because I just wanted them to concentrate and do the exercise. So we start with the first question. Write down all the things that you love. And it was a difficult question because people were like, okay, I love my children. And I said, no. Don't give me any of that. Okay, put your children.
Loves their children.
Everybody loves their children. I'm talking about put everything that you love, from the small things to the big things. I love traveling. Fantastic. But did you know that I also love sticking my hands in sacks of lentils? Because the feeling of rubbing lentils against my skin is fantastic.
Okay.
That's a small thing.
Yeah.
Write it down.
And don't do that.
No, because I'm going to take them back.
People are buying those lentils.
I'm going to buy those lentils. Exactly. Okay, I do it with my own.
Okay, at home. At home is fine. You can do whatever you want to do with those lentils.
Thank
okay,
you.
go on.
Thank you. So anyway, so this girl was very taken with the exercise. And at the end of the workshop, she said, oh, can we chat for a moment? And she's like, I'm just really feeling very conflicted because I work in a bank My father was a banker. My mom is a stay-at-home mom. I have 3 brothers and another sister. And for us, it's unthinkable to even say that I'm unhappy. So I ask her, okay, Ria, so it's just you and I. Why are you unhappy? I hate my job. It's killing me. I feel that it's leading me to a life where I'm already planning my retirement. And she's 30 years old. So
Wow.
I know. But Japanese culture, much more like Singaporean culture, they're very black and white. In Italian, we call it società piombo because it's a very heavy mindset. It's very black and white. You can rarely have, though it's changing, some flexibility, possibilities of doing something that nobody else does.
Yeah.
And I remember that during the Ikigai, I said to Ria, so Ria, what did you discover with the Ikigai? And she started crying again. And she said, I just love snowboarding so much. Snowboarding is the one topic that I can never stop talking about. But she was crying, but as she was releasing things, so she wasn't even happy. She was just tearing. And I was like, okay, keep talking to me. So why do you love snowboarding so much? The passion she had when she talked about that, it was so great. And I started writing down ideas. Okay, so I have a little gift for you. Would you like to just make money out of just snowboarding? She said, yes. Fantastic.
Okay.
So from everything that you say, sounds like you're going to open your YouTube channel. And she did.
Oh, okay.
And she did. And she was like, she lit up with the idea. Yes, because I could talk about this and this and this. It doesn't matter what you talk about. Just the fact that what you're saying right now, I would watch you because it's so different.
Yeah.
You're not the typical, the typical model talking about equipment. No, you're actually a person who says what to do when snowboarding, mistakes to avoid, things like this, like everyday experience
It's
on
your
snowboarding.
passion. Yeah.
Because she was so passionate about it. That's what hooks people. And I said, I would watch your channel. And I know you're not an expert in snowboarding, you said so yourself, but the fact that you love it so much, and definitely you know more than I do about it, it's reason enough to follow you.
Exactly. Yeah. It's always true that when it's honest and it's passionate, it comes out of the screen.
It comes out of the screen because it's already unique per se. So what happens is that 2 months later, she gives her notice at work. And now she is a full-time YouTuber. And
Really?
she talks
What's the channel?
I had to give it to you because it's all in Japanese.
Oh, okay, then, yeah.
But it's brilliant because she talks about all the biggest mistake I made when I went snowboarding in Hokkaido and I broke a finger. And there was a whole video, and she got really good at editing videos. And that's another thing. So she thought, okay, I'm going to open my YouTube channel, but I don't know nothing about video editing. I'm going to need to study some. You see? And that's exactly what people need to do. You may have a passion to do something. You may be lacking some skill and knowledge. Just get them.
Yeah.
There's always a way to.
I don't. I mean, listening to your story makes me go back to the time of the pandemic. I remember the first lockdown that we had.
Yeah.
And although yes, it started off with it was a moment of scare. And okay, the globe is locking down, right? But one thing about that time that I miss is the calmness because you didn't do anything. They had a lot of time, and everything became slower. And I actually, during that time, I took up courses. I learned a lot of things during that time because I had the time. I think that then also, I like that idea where sometimes when things are not going well in your life or you're going through a tough time, you need to, they say if you go away for 90 days, you'll come back a different person.
I heard that before. I wonder why 90 days.
No, I mean, I think it's just a number. But sometimes you need to go back into your cave and just, sort of hibernate, recuperate, and then come out stronger. You know what I mean? I think that's important. So is that something that you include in your courses when you talk to people?
Yes.
To be calm, to think?
Yes. Actually, what I advise them is stop thinking altogether. Because you have the mind, you have the 2 strongest indicators in your life to tell you whether you're doing the right thing or not is only 2 things. It's your emotions and your thoughts. But the only one holding real truth is your emotions, never your thoughts. Never.
Okay.
If you're stressed, if you're worried, if you're concerned, you're anxious, afraid of something, stop thinking. Because that's only getting things worse. The truth is, you need to feel your emotions. That's what happened. So, for example, if when you were a kid, you got burned by something, and you associate it with fire, your mind will create a catalog of experiences teaching you that from now on, I'm going to alert you every time you're near fire because you need to be careful.
Yeah.
But the real thing is not the catalog that you build, is the source of everything, is the emotion that you put when you experience a certain situation. So what happens is that the mind, let me put it this way. The mind is an engine that helps you find a solution, but based on your emotions. Your emotion will tell you what you're feeling, what you really want. And when you know that, when you see it, your mind will create all the opportunities. But so long you don't listen to your emotions, your mind will go racing like crazy. And that's how people get stressed. And that's how we get anxiety, depression even. Because we're not listening to the source. We're listening to the engine that will provide the second step of the way. But the first thing is to actually feel. And that is very scary to people.
It is.